get straight into it, yeah? Because a lot of us know you as, Jee Say, the political, opposition party person or the political figure.
Yeah.
But tell us about yourself. What was it like, growing up, your childhood, boyhood years, and all of that. Yeah, lead us into your life.
Yeah, I grew up in a big family, 9 children, and both my parents came from China, Hainan Island. And all of us, we just rented a room in Queen Street, and all 9 children were packed like sardines into one single room. And that's how tough life was for us. And we would sleep over each other at night and roll over each other. So that was how tough it was. And my mother brought us up as a washerwoman. And I could remember that she would just, as a child, she would just carry me on her back and just concentrate on washing clothes. And then with me piggyback on her. And that's how I grew up, on the back of my mother. But I help out. All the children help out. I took the easy one out. I went to collect and distribute clothes. My sisters wash, iron. My father ironed clothes as well.
So are you very good at the laundry at home then?
No, not at all. We have something called a washing machine now.
Must ask, Mr. Stan whether or not you're good with the laundry.
Yeah.
Great. And what was it like, perhaps when you went to school? Was it tough for your mom to put you through school?
we had school. We had lots of schools in Queen Street, and the school that I went to was just across the road, and then I would just run across when the bell rang. So there wasn't any bus to take and all that. So it was quite near. Yeah.
That sounds fun. Okay. Let's talk about your time in the civil service.
Yes.
Okay. What was that like? What was the highlight of your career in your...
Well, I think I consider the highlight of my career when I was chosen personally by the late Dr. Goh Keng Swee to be his aide, to help him, because he was appointed by the President of Sri Lanka to advise him on economic development. So as a young man, 26 years old, I was called up by Dr. Goh, come, help me, work on it, and let's help another country. Singapore has developed, and let's use our experience to help another country. So I was really gratified. I was just thrown off. I mean, it was quite a feeling at the age of 26 into the second year of my civil service career, and here comes the architect of Singapore economy, getting me to help him, to help another country. And that has really struck me. And, well, I did work hard. We worked until 5 a.m. and he would tell me that he wants his notes of meeting the next morning at 7 a.m. So 5 a.m. I would get it, slip it into our secretary's room. And then by 7 a.m. it's typed and it's on the table, breakfast table with Dr. Goh. So it was quite good. And he was actually a role model. I hope that to learn from him and to use his experience, his knowledge, to do Singapore good economy, because during his time we had good economy and good unity among the people, happiness. It's not like now where there's a lot of economic division. Society is divided even though there's high GDP growth. In those days, Dr. Goh was able to achieve for us high economic growth without creating unhappiness among the people.
Great, thank you. I think, being plucked out like that at such a young age really inspired you to work harder in your career. And when you eventually went into the public sector, rather the private sector, there's been a little bit of query about your CV, right?
Yeah.
Why, how many jobs you had over how many years.
That's
so
right.
Would you like to just put it down on record right now?
Yes.
Set the record straight and tell us your CV.
Yeah, thank you very much, because there have been a lot of queries online plus the media about my employment record. Let me just set the record straight. I achieved every milestone wherever I went. My first job was in Morgan Grenfell, an investment bank, and I won for them the privatization of Singapore Telecom. That was Singapore's major privatization, and it was also the first telecom privatization ever won by the Morgan Grenfell Group anywhere in the world. It is a global bank, but they won the first telecom privatization project in the world in Singapore. They were immensely proud of me for helping them to win this project. And not only that, they made me the telecom specialist for the Morgan Grenfell Group, and they flew me around the world to get business for them in telecoms. They flew me to Seattle, they flew me to Pakistan and all other places. So I was quite proud of Morgan Grenfell. Then I moved on to Peregrine, and I also chalked up another milestone, the first ever cross-border mergers and acquisition between an Indonesian conglomerate, one of the top 10, and a major Malaysian mining company listed on the stock exchange of Kuala Lumpur. So it was a major cross-border M&A worth about $150 million. It was quite big in those days. And that transaction was personally witnessed by Prime Minister Mahathir. And I was very proud that I was there shaking his hands, and he was congratulating me for winning it, for making it possible. Between a Singaporean bringing together an Indonesian conglomerate and a Malaysian listed major mining company. That's Peregrine. The third one was Govert, a fund management company. I won for them a major mandate from a sovereign wealth fund. And also I set up for them a Sharia fund for the insurance subsidiary of a major Malaysian bank. So these are two milestones. I'm quite proud of Govert. Well, I did. They said that, well, how come you go to so many banks? But actually, you look at it, it's not uncommon for people in the financial sector to move around. Some even move after 1 year, within a year, because things move very fast in the financial sector, in banks, in securities, in fund management, and you have to be nimble. Management change, and you have to change to go along with it. Your interests also change. So I have changed jobs maybe 3 times, 4 times over a period of 13 years, and that's not so frequent. 14 years, average of 3 years. Minimum stay I had in any one place was about nearly 2 years, 20 months, and then the maximum was 5 years. So between 20 months, 2 years, 2.5 years, 4 years, 5 years. Not too bad a record compared to other people in the financial sector.
Thank you. Well, that sounds like a very impressive CV to me. And a lot of people are because you just came fresh from the general elections, right?
Yeah.
So what made you run the presidency so soon after? Was this part of your plan all along, or?
Well, it's part of public service, GE, I wish I had been elected an MP, serving Parliament, serving the people in Parliament, but it was not to be, and there is this opportunity now to serve the people again. So I am taking advantage of the opportunity to serve the people again.
And what would you say then to people who then say that you're kind of doing this for political gain or political reasons?
Well, if you mean political gain, by political gain you mean serving the people, then obviously I'm doing it for political reasons, gain. But this is all part of serving the people. I am not pushing for any opposition agenda. It's serving people, being above party politics, hearing views of everyone. And the views that I have, contrary to the government, are not the monopoly of the opposition. Even some members of the PAP are unhappy about the PAP. So this presidential election indeed is a reflection of the diversity of opinion even within the PAP. You have 3 of them coming out to contest the same position. So isn't there diversity? And the views are shared by even members of the PAP, not just the opposition. So there is no opposition agenda as such. I am doing this for the country, for the views of for the interests of every Singaporean.
Minister recently said that we are too small to afford political paralysis and that we need to have a harmonious political system. So do you think that having a president who constantly keep checks and balances on the government will be counterproductive to what he's asking for?
I don't think so. When Parliament decided to amend the Constitution to have an elected president, it has got checks and balances in mind, and this will slow down the process. You can find Parliament deciding and implement it, but the Parliament has created a different institution, the president, to check on Parliament, to check on the government. So they expect some inefficiency in the system, maybe slowing down. But this is not bad. This is all for the greater democratization of Singapore, and that's good. I mean, we don't mind a little bit of inefficiency, a little bit of disagreement, but it is good for the long-term interest of Singapore.
Great.